Okay, so we have already seen the collision resolution technique. One was chaining, another one is open addressing, where we have learned linear probing, quadratic probing, and any arbitrary type of probing to solve the collision resolution. But if we are doing the chaining and table doubling, then uh, we can confirm that the complexity of the hashing is still order of 1. But there is issue with open addressing. It may increase the complexity of the search. Okay. For example, some element may be inserted after a long time, then we have to search the whole table, and that will create the order of n search time, okay, which is not desired. So there is one more good technique uh, which does not require any collision resolution technique. It is actually perfect hashing. Okay. And it was developed in 2004 by it was developed by Rasmus Park in 2004, and Cuckoo hashing is basically perfect hashing. There is no collision. And even if there is some probability of collision, we can analyze and predetermine that where there will be collision, and we can change the hash function before going for the hashing. Okay. So let's see how it's works. It is very similar like other normal hashing technique. Let's say this is our set of all keys K1, K2, Kn, and these keys are basically part of the element. The elements are in the form key and value. Okay. There is set of universe for the all possible keys. We have seen that in universal hashing. And now there is hash table. Let's say this is T1, and here is hash function like normal hashing. Let's say this is H1K. Okay. And this table is basically index 0, 1, 2 is up to n minus 1. The size of the table is n. So while I have written H1 and T1, there must be some H2 and T2. So Cuckoo hashing basically instead of using one hash table, it uses two hash table and two hash. So let's say there are second hash function which is H2K, and the second table which is m prime minus 1, and indices are 0, 1, 2. Okay. So we have two hash table, two hash function instead of one. Okay. So how will how the now one thing to notice, the table size may be different, but we can keep the and keep them same. This we can make this equal as well, but or we can make the different also. There is no issue. Construction of Cuckoo hashing does not conflict with the set. So how the operation standard operation will work? We have insert k. For any element, insertion will start with the first H1. Okay, and it will be inserted in the table. K1 for K2 for K3, K4. It will be inserted in the first table like normal until unless there is. Now suppose there are two elements HKI and HKJ. So H1. What does it mean? It means there is a collision when we are inserting Ki and Kj. Let's assume that Ki was inserted first. So Ki is occupying some space. Let's okay. And then Kj is also demanding the same place. How to insert? So cuckoo hashing is developed by the natural phenomena. But uh, we all know that the cuckoo bird lay their eggs in the nest of crow, and the cuckoo chicks are more smarter, and they hatch early and they drop all the other eggs from the nest. Okay, the same technique is used here. That's why the name cuckoo hashing. And the technique is what? Uh, when we are inserting Kj, Ky was Ki is already occupied in this slot, and we are inserting Kj. There is a collision. So what we will do? We will insert Kj here, and we will remove Ki. Okay, Ki will be inserted using second hash. Okay, Ki will be inserted using second hash. So which one comes later will take the seat, take the place, and the earlier element will be removed. Okay, it will be evacuated from this place and it will be inserted using the alternative hash in the alternative table. Okay, what happens if let's say we are inserting more element, then sometimes there appear KT. Okay, KT is removed from somewhere from the T1 table and it's make a collision in the second table. What will happen? Nothing to worry about. We will remove the previously occupied element from the second table and we will insert this into the first table, and the newly appeared element will be inserted in KT in table 2. How this will solve the problem? The previously occupied element for table 1 will go to some other place because first Ki was uh, removed and Ky occupied there. Now, if there is a second time removal from the first table, there will be some different element and that will go somewhere else location. So there may not be a collision. Okay, we can analyze this. There is a bipartite graph analysis, very beautiful analysis for this. To that. So insertion is which one is coming later will be inserted in the table. If there is a collision in table 1, we will remove the previously occupied element into table 2. If there is collision in table 2, we will remove the previously occupied element from table 2 and insert in table. Okay, and this may go for a cycle, but cycle is okay in Cuckoo Hashing. Okay, until unless there is a double cycle, we can prove that. So, what about the other operation? How the search operation will work? Search for any arbitrary key k. How will search this thing? For every element, it can be found either in table 1 or in table 2. Okay, so we have to search in two places. If it is found in table 1, fine. We will look for, we will return the element. If it is not found in table 1, we will go for table 2. If it is not found in table 2 also, then we will say the element is not present. Otherwise, we will say element is present. Okay, so instead of searching in one table, we have to search in two tables, so it will be order of 2 instead of order of 1. And the beauty of order notation is we can still write it is order. Okay. Now delete operation. Delete k. Delete k will be followed by search k. Then if the element found, delete this. If the element found is the first table, then delete it from the first table. If the element is found in the second table, delete it from the second table. Very simple. Now, what about that complex situation? Evacuating from table 1, then going to table 2, then getting evacuated from table 2, and then coming to table 1. Okay, so let's check what happened. Let's say we have some element A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Okay, now let's say this is the first occurrence, the element. Okay, it is going from F to E, then E to D, then D to C, C to B. B is evacuating and coming to D. Okay, D is getting evacuated by B. It is going to A. A is evacuated by G. G is evacuated by E. So, and then E will evacuate D and D will go to C again. It will be a loop. Why? Because there are two cycles. If you make one cycle instead of two cycles, okay. If you make one cycle instead of two cycles, let's say G is going to, then also it will be two cycles. Any other solution? There will be no two cycle. ZC G to C will also make cycle, G to D, so there will be two cycle here. With this, we can remove some other node. Okay, there will be no two cycle, so there is only one cycle, and you can check. There will be no conflict. Okay, so if for some pair of function these scenarios happen, that's fine. Okay, how can we check it before installing the function? There is a very good analysis of bipartite graph. You all know bipartite graph. Bipartite graph, any graph G is set of vertices and set of edges. Okay, in bipartite graph, this set of vertices V is basically union of V1 union V2, and it is given V1 intersection V2 equal to empty. So they are disjoint. Okay, vertex set is splitted between two disjoint V1 and V2 such that bipartite graph means V1 elements in V1 will does not have any edge between them. Okay, let's say V1 contains V1 1, V1 2, V1 3 in this way. V1 P number of vertices, and there are Q number of vertices V2 1, V2 2, okay, V2 Q. Okay. So condition of bipartite graph is the vertices inside V1 will not have the edge. Vertices inside V2 will not have edge between them. Okay. So all the edges are from B1 to B2. Okay, in this way. So this graph perfectly replicate the scenario of heavily. Okay, which one is getting evacuated and going to which position? We can make a graph for that. That graph will be bipartite graph. In this graph, we have to check for this cycle. Okay, how to check cycle in a graph? We can run simple DFS algorithm to check a graph in the cycle. If there is how to determine cycle using DFS, we have to only check back edges. Number of back edges are basically number of. Okay. If there are two connected back edges, means there is a double. Okay. So if in some graph for some hash function, we'll pre-compute this graph before going to the hashing. We can pre-compute this graph and we can check whether there is a double cycle or not. If there is no double cycle for that particular choice of function, then it is collision free. There will be no collision. And if we have a double cycle inside this graph, we already know there is a probability of collision. Though there is a that probability is very less, that particular element must appear in this set A. So still we can change the pair of graph and we can take some other pair that will work. So this is Cuckoo hashing. This is most perfect hashing technique for this. That's all. In the next lecture, we will come to bloom filter.